lounging, son.
Welcome back to the Comic Lounge. My name's Ryan.
And I'm Manny.
And today we're going to be going through Batman Legends of the Dark Knight annual from 1991, title of Duel, by a fucking murderer's row of talent. All written by Denny O'Neil. I'm just going to go to the credits page now so that I don't forget. I mean, Jim Aparo, Keith Giffen, Malcolm Jones III, Joe Quesada, Joe Rubinstein, Tom Lyle, Ty Templeton, Dan Spiegle, James Blackburn, Michael Golden. That's all the artists. And then Jim Aparo does some letters. Janice Chang does letters. Willie Schubert letters as well. Steve Olive is a color on all of it. And then Bill Kaplan, assistant editor. Archie Goodwin, late great Archie Goodwin, is the editor of the book. But just I'll be real. The reason I picked this up was the Mike Mignola cover, but
dope cover.
It's a great issue. So before we get into it, real quick, hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. Check out some of the dope content on the channel. There's so much great stuff for no matter what you're a fan of. I guarantee you'll find something on here that you like. So hit that subscribe button. Now let's dive into this fucking sick annual. I love anytime I get to see a Mignola Batman. So I really didn't even read. I'll be honest, I didn't read the bottom credits. I just looked at the cover and I picked it. This is a dollar bin pickup. So didn't disappoint. Definitely worth the $1. I'll tell you that. I mean, it's crazy to think that this big ass issue is $3.95. This would be like a $10 comic probably now, I'm assuming.
Yeah, man.
Based on what they're charging us comic book fans. But really fun issue, dude. And like cold opening. It's kind of funny he's in the snow. I didn't
literally, right?
I didn't mean that. That was totally on accident. But
you should have said it wasn't, bro. That was a good one.
Yeah, I know. I should have wrote that. But anyways, so he's walking through the snow, lugging this like fucking green bag, going to this like mysterious destination, and we see it's like this ancient building, this ancient temple. We learn that this is like where he trained in the past. Part of his training, because he's trained with so many different masters of different like skills, techniques, fighting styles, like mastery of the mind also, which is kind of where this lends itself, because this is a complete fever dream that he ends up going through.
Yeah, it's like this is someone he obviously learned like philosophy and how to like like you just said, train your mind.
Yeah, I mean, look at and Denny O'Neil is one of the greatest I think comic book writers ever. I think people I don't hear his name dropped enough now. But I mean, he's responsible for, I think, so many great stories, so many great Batman stories. Obviously, I think one of the greatest stuff, or one of the characters that he's most known for too, probably, or characters, will be the Green Lantern, Green Arrow run that he did with Neil Adams. I think is super celebrated. But dude, he not only did he write a lot of Batman, but he edited Batman.
I was going to say,
time.
He's one of the greatest editors in comics. That. We either as a writer or as an editor, he was involved with some of the most important storylines in comic book history. So the guy definitely is a major player.
And not even to mention the stuff he did in Marvel. He was over there with Daredevil also. So he's some, now that I'm like even thinking about it, like before we get too off topic, that's something like maybe we should try to do, is like some like little spotlight videos, quick videos, like just talking about some of these legends that like aren't talked about enough. Just a quick like overview of their career or something would be kind of fun.
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
But so like he even like he says like I love this right here. The voice is laden with age, but it is not gentle. The master speaks softly, but always with strength. Like this writing is just, there's just like a gravitas to it, and Batman like shocked. I don't know why I'm here, what I'm supposed to do. Please enlighten me. Like again, putting Batman in like this very vulnerable state of
where he doesn't know what's going on. And like right off the bat, this is like a very strange story. I mean, Legends of the Dark Knight was always a series that like I think tried to take risks with Batman stories. They had the opportunity to not have to bow down to whatever continuity was going on.
They weren't
until much later. Later on, it did get folded in. But I think for the first like 50, 60 issues, they really were little standalone arcs that gave creators a chance to tell like something different. And I mean, this is one of those examples.
Yeah, they definitely weren't beholden to anything that was going on. I think even the ones that did tie in would always still be something that happened in the past that related to that stuff,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we talked about recent issue 50, and it just made me want to go down the rabbit hole of just like we don't even have to go in order, because that's a beautiful thing
Yeah.
about this, is that we can jump around, because it jumps around in time itself within this run.
Yeah.
And I actually just picked up the first arc recently, so it's on the way. So that would be a fun one to do. But yeah, so like so we see this the past, him fighting these villains. This fucking mysterious monk is just like, you need to choose. Abandon that destiny and the pride which fuels it. Become humble and find peace. That is the first choice. And he's like, I'm sorry, what's the second choice? It's
Yeah.
like not wanting to humble himself. Embrace the destiny, enter deeply into it, go further than you have ever gone before until you find what lies at his heart. And that's the whole impetus behind what happens, because now he's going to go through this doorway. He falls down and keeps falling and falling and falling. It's almost like he's going into hell, because it's like hot, cold, hot, and he just keeps going further. And then we get this like awesome Keith Giffen part to the story. And that's, at first I thought, like, it was, when I looked at the credits, I'm like, oh, is it going to be multiple stories? But no, they're just, each artist puts their spin on these different levels. And that's why, like, to me, it was almost like levels of inner hell in his mind, is kind of how I took it. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's definitely what it is.
or inner turmoil. I don't say inner hell, but
Yeah.
like this inner turmoil going on in his mind.
Especially once you get to the end, like
But like, look at this, dude. Like, just insanity. Like, he's looking at his in his own mind, but it's like it's the Batcave, because you see the penny, the giant
yeah.
penny right there. But flame, smoke, brimstone, gouting from its depths. Heat seeps through his. I mean, just like this fucking writing, dude, and this like weird creature that comes at him, just like
These are the Keith Giffen pages, right?
yes, these are Keith Giffen.
Yeah. You get the
I love it, dude. I love the way the
hmm
cape is super sharp, these like sharp angles on it. Like, this
Yeah.
was a great era for Keith Giffen. Like we talked about, I don't think we've done Trencher, but that's, that era of Keith Giffen was just complete bonkers, dude.
One of the greatest artists.
Yeah.
I also have a soft spot for like the blue and gray Batman outfit.
I think that's probably my favorite, if I'm being
Yeah.
honest. I didn't mind the all black during like the Morrison JLA, but the
Yeah.
blue and gray is definitely my favorite. Yeah. But yeah, this is, I mean, for me, like as much as I love the writing, I really, really dig the art. I think that that's what pulled me in the most. And it's interesting that he's like dragging around this bag, but we don't know what's inside it. It's always just there.
Like, they refer to it as his baggage. It's like,
Yeah.
it takes on like a metaphorical meaning. Like before I got to the ending, before we find out that there is like something real behind all of it, I was like,
Mhm.
it's got to be like his trauma, which it kind of is,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
like so like this story is really like the title that it's Duel. It's almost like Batman dueling with himself, with his trauma. Like it's really deep stuff, man. For
Yeah.
like for a comic book, and that's again, Legend of the Dark Knight was good about that. Like some of them were even like mature reader, like suggested for mature readers, because they did skew for an older audience.
Yeah. It's definitely like felt more experimental, I think, a
Yeah,
little bit. And they
a
could
little
go,
Vertigo before there was Vertigo in a weird way.
you know what? That's a great comp. It's like the Vertigo Batman in
Yeah,
some ways. A lot of the storytelling,
yeah.
And then these Joe Quesada pages, dude.
Oh, dude.
I
Yeah,
love Quesada. I wish he still drew. Like his stuff was always like it always his style always like stood out to me. And
yeah.
also the Daredevil with Kevin Smith that he did is like was
Oh, that's one of my favorite arcs ever.
yeah, that's another episode for sure.
Oh, for sure, dude. One hundred
Yeah,
percent.
yeah. But look at this. Now he's like in medieval times. It's just
Yeah.
fucking, there's this woman who like we don't know who it is. We ended up finding out it's Talia. And even as he looks at her, like she goes into this like perfect housewife type of outfit.
I love
Come.
how each time Batman goes to like a different sort of level of hell, it's like it switches artists, like. And this is
Yeah.
actually, I think, the first Legend of the Dark Knight annual. So it's like a great way to kick off the annual. Like this is how you do an annual. You do like a weird story, a different story, bringing
Yeah.
in a bunch of superstar artists, make it something special.
Yeah, and that's why I thought it was like multiple stories, because I'm like, okay, maybe it's just like a little anthology type of annual, because there's a lot of those out there. But I
Yeah,
like that when you utilize having multiple artists on a story, it has to make sense, and it does make complete sense why you would do it this way. Then he's fighting this fucking like dragon lizard over here. It's
yeah.
just, dude, it's just so much fun.
this page, that whole page with the dragon is sick.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
love
like
this too. He's like picking up a sword and shield. There's these fucking like
yeah,
picks him off these like dead soldiers that are just hanging in there.
yeah. There's almost a Mignola-esque quality to what Quesada's doing in these pages.
I was gonna say that, dude. Yeah, he definitely like if you throw just a little more shadow on some of these, it would be
Yeah,
very Mignola-esque. I was kind of hoping selfishly like that there would be a Mignola story in here. I mean, I
same.
can't complain. Like everything is fun, dude. Like seeing Batman face off against this dragon, like when do you get to see that kind of stuff? I mean, look at that. Thrust your blade through the eye, into the brain, kill while you can still rescue your luggage. And he just keeps grabbing it, dude. He just like can't,
Yeah.
it's like he's like can't let it go. And then look at that. Do
So
it like this panel right here where he's just like staring down into this chasm.
it's badass.
Yeah.
I love that image too with him with holding the sword down and the
Oh
cape
yeah.
like flapping. It's so good.
Keep the sword. Weapons aren't my style. And then and then we go into Tom Lyle's page, and now he's like, I believe this is, I would say, the 40s.
Yeah.
I think it's safe to say there's like some fucking alien invasion coming. So like it reminds you of like War of the Worlds. So maybe it's a little bit earlier. I can't really
Or
tell,
maybe
but
like 50s, like sci-fi, like B
yeah.
movie.
But it's just cool, like this old school like flying saucers coming in, fucking crashes
Yeah.
straight into this. And so now he's
Yeah,
dealing
giant
with
it's giant bugs,
Senator
like
Pennyworth.
that was cool. And then you got the army. It would have been
Yeah.
cool. They would have used Sergeant Rock in there.
Oh yeah, that would have been a cool one. But it's like it's in his mind though, so it's like that's why like everything
Yeah,
there's a touchstone in each story that he's talking about, right? And it's like
yeah, yeah,
you have Talia in that one, you got Alfred, like so his mind is working out what's going on. I love this fucking alien that's just this giant like ant bug.
yeah. So I think that maybe it's his 50s because the 50s had all those like irradiated bug movies like
Oh
giant
yeah,
bugs.
you're right. I didn't even think about that.
I love the Tom Lyle art too, man.
Tom Lyle was always like,
Very clean.
yeah, and I mean he did Robin for a little while. So
Yeah,
I
I love that run, dude. Like that whole era of Robin was so good too.
there you go, another episode.
Yeah,
Another
man.
thing I want to talk about for sure, dude. That's, I mean, Tim Drake's my favorite Robin, so like I have
Yeah,
almost that entire run, but that would be fun to go like even just through the first issue or whatever.
those miniseries were good too. Like
Yes, yes. I'm thinking of the number one though, because that fucking awesome like metallic uh fuck my
hologram,
not hologram.
embossed was it or
Embossed. There we go. Thank you. I
embossed?
couldn't
Yeah,
fucking think of the word. But yeah, that cover like stands out in my mind. But look at this. I mean, look, we've seen Batman fight off against a monster in like a hell area, a lizard dragon type of character. Now he's going against this like bug alien. It's just it feels also like very Silver Age almost inspired
yeah.
to me,
Which
when
is
he was
a great choice to have him draw this because it's like that got that clean sort of Silver Age look to it.
yeah. He's never blown a trumpet before in his life. That's probably an advantage. The blare is excruciating. The alien just gets taken out by a fucking trumpet. Oh, I love these pages, dude. I believe
Yeah,
this is Malcolm Jones the third, who I know best from like his work on like Swamp, not Swamp, on Sandman.
these pages are awesome too, man. Like
Yeah.
all these deep shadows.
This feels like the 20s. Just
Yes,
based
one
on
hundred
the
percent.
though, based on the way he's talking, like he's like, you plug him, Louis. Like that sounds like a 20s gangster to me.
Yeah, and I think they're like this is like Prohibition era, so like Al Capone, like the Untouchables kind of shit. The
Yeah.
Tommy guns.
I love this sequence right here. Stalking, striking, in silence. Fucking awesome, dude.
They take his bag, so he's after it. Yeah, this
Yeah,
whole
dude.
story, like like the whole time you're wondering what's going on, but at the same time, like each sequence is so entertaining that like you're kind of taking it as it is, and you almost forget what the fuck's going on until you get to the end.
Yeah, because like if you read each of these chapters by themselves, it doesn't really you couldn't really get them, like and it does
Yeah,
make sense once you get to the end. At least to me, like maybe I'm like not I was obviously pouring more over the art. I was reading it very surface level at first.
yeah,
And I
same.
wasn't really thinking about like, okay, what is the underlying meaning? But there is a lot of layers to this. But the art just like I mean, fuck, dude, every single page is awesome. Then he fucking crashes into this fucking bar. Slugs miss him. Hit a crate full of liquor. Cheap alcohol burns easily. And it just sounds like a very, like, the way it's written sounds like a noir detective story.
Yeah, good Good
in this
call.
one.
Yeah, it's the writing does change and the dialogue does change from sequence to sequence. We're back,
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, yeah. But now he's gonna go against like fucking zombie vampires or something.
Nazis,
So
Adolf Hitler's in this city.
just crazy, dude. I love these particular panels, the angles are fucking so crazy. Like the way this gun's popping in right here, the way Batman is
Yeah,
just terrified, his like mouth looks all like elongated. This one definitely feels like more of like a dream sequence to me, you know?
yeah. There's like an EC horror quality to what's going on too. Like
I also love this style of coloring, dude. Doesn't need,
yeah,
like not overcolored. You got this
this whole
fucking like,
sequence with the tanks is awesome.
yeah, and then you got this like voodoo practitioner over here. Like, why the fuck is he a part of this? That's where it
Yeah,
starts to just like things just get weird as fuck. And
and
this
literally like
fucking,
like yeah, dude. This page is that's EC Comics as fuck, bro.
oh
Like
yeah.
this is one of my favorite pages with these like Nazi zombies coming out and the guy like raising them and Hitler like going crazy. I mean,
Yeah, this is it's intense, dude. Fucking
yeah.
yeah, like why is Hitler here, dude?
And hey, man, I'm a fan of anyone beating the shit out of Nazis, and seeing Batman beating the shit out of Nazis is always gonna be fun.
It's something you don't see. You definitely don't see
Yeah,
Batman fighting Nazis very much. But then this
yeah,
transformation of like he basically is comparing, like in his mind, comparing Joker to that type of vile villainy as Hitler, because we
yeah.
see that slow transformation. And this image of the Joker, dude, is fucking awesome.
Yes, dude, it is. And like it's like there's so much menace in it.
And then he fucking now he's dragging him along in this fucking like sleeping bag, and Joker's
Yeah,
just fucking like just tormenting. He just doesn't shut up, dude. Look at like I mean, like all this text is all Joker. He says
yeah.
two. He says one sentence. I built a
Shut up.
fire. Yeah, die, Fuhrer. Really? You thought I was him? How very flattering. Like the Joker's just that fucking sick in his head that he's like happy
Yeah,
that he's being compared. And then we get this like as we cap it off.
we wrote back to Jim.
Yeah, Batman is like, I've never wanted anything so much, but I won't, because if I did, I'd be violating the belief that has sustained me all these years. I believe in the absolute sacredness of human life. I may not really believe in anything else.
Yeah, it's great. And
Yeah.
like the fact that you find out that what was going on is that he was bringing Joker back from somewhere, and like the plane crashed, and he's been dragging, where he could have just left Joker to die. He didn't. I love the snow too. The way that like they draw the snow here. I think these final pages were also by Jim Aparo.
Jim Aparo, yeah.
Yeah, Aparo. Yeah, and like
Yeah.
the way that like rain and snow are kind of hard to draw, man. To make it look really cool, and he does it really well.
Yeah, he does a great job. This is a fucking fantastic issue.
Yeah,
Highly recommend. Super easy to find. It's not like these are not, like I said, I found a dollar bin, so it's not expensive. So go pick this up if you can. And make sure you like, follow, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you're notified every time a new vid drops. And on that note, we're out.